You probably think you know the main races in Dragon Ball. Saiyans, Namekians, maybe Frieza's race if you're extra geeky. But what if I told you there are dozens more? Some you've never even heard of, and some that secretly hold the keys to fusion, godhood, and even immortality. We're talking races that created the fusion dance, races that existed before time, and literal demon gods that ruled the underworld. This isn't just a character list, this is a deep dive into the species, powers, and weird biology of Dragon Ball's universe, from the OG Dragon Ball to Super, GT, and beyond. Let's get into it. Before we start name dropping, let's break this down. In Dragon Ball, a race isn't just what planet you're from. It can mean a lot of things. Some are born mortal, like Earthlings or Saiyans. Others are created, like androids or Majins. And some aren't born at all. They're divine concepts, like angels, gods of destruction, or Kais. Dragon Ball also breaks the rules constantly. Some characters switch races, like Android 17, who's still technically human, while others, like Goku Black, are a weird mashup of species and identities. So in this video, we're gonna split things into tiers: mortal races, divine races, created, artificial races, obscure and extended universe races. And yeah, we're going deep, to places the anime never did. Saiyans. Saiyans are the beating heart of Dragon Ball. If you've seen any episode, you've seen them flying around, screaming, and transforming mid-fight. But there's way more to them than just hair colors and yelling. Originally, Saiyans lived on planet Sadala, a world of prideful warriors. But a massive civil war broke out, and the survivors took over Planet Plant, wiping out the native Tuffles. That planet was renamed Planet Vegeta. So yeah, they didn't just evolve, they conquered. Here's what most fans miss. Saiyans don't just get stronger by training, their power skyrockets after barely surviving death, thanks to something called a Zenkai boost. And their ability to transform into Super Saiyans? That comes from S-cells, a rare genetic trait that builds up when a Saiyan lives calmly. Yes, calmness leads to rage-fueled golden hair. It's a weird universe, and remember the Super Saiyan legend from early Z? That wasn't just a myth, it was a real warrior named Yamoshi, the first Super Saiyan god. His spirit literally helped Goku transform during the ritual. Fun facts: Vegeta's brother, Tarbal, is a gentle Saiyan, which fits the S-cell theory. Saiyan hybrids, like Gohan and Trunks, often surpass pure-blooded ones. Namekians. Namekians might seem quiet and wise, but they're one of the most ancient and spiritually advanced races in Dragon Ball. They don't eat food, just water. They reproduce asexually by spitting out eggs, and their connection to magic is insane. They literally invented the Dragon Balls, those things that can bend reality. Namekians split into two types: Dragon Clan, like Kami and Dende, who create Dragon Balls and have healing powers. Warrior Clan, like Nail and Piccolo, born to fight and defend. Piccolo's whole identity arc? It's a Namekian thing. They can fuse with other Namekians, not just combine power but memories, skills, and purpose. So when Piccolo fuses with Nail, and later with Kami, he doesn't just get stronger, he becomes more complete. Also, Namekian history goes way back. Before the anime even starts, their homeworld was devastated by natural disasters, and that's why Kami was sent to Earth as a child. Fun facts: there are Namekians in Universe 6 too, and they fused hundreds of individuals into two warriors. In Dragon Ball GT, Namek is destroyed again, and wished back. Let's be real, humans in Dragon Ball get clowned on, but they're way more capable than people give them credit for. Krillin is the strongest pure human in Universe 7. Tien mastered alien techniques like the multiform and tri-beam, and Master Roshi has been dodging death for centuries using nothing but technique and skill. Humans don't rely on transformations, they rely on ingenuity and adaptability. Even Android 17 and 18 started out as humans, they were just cybernetically modified. And let's not forget Videl and Pan, who show glimpses of ki, control, and god-tier potential without Saiyan transformations. Also, humans created Capsule Corp tech, the martial arts tournaments, and even trained early versions of Goku and Vegeta. Fun facts: in Dragon Ball Super, Krillin temporarily held his own in the Tournament of Power. Pan showed flying abilities as a toddler before Goten or Trunks did. Frieza's race is still a mystery, even after decades of canon. They don't have an official name in the anime or manga, but fans and sources like games call them Frost Demons, or just Frieza's race. Here's the wild part: they were genetically altered by their ancestors to become perfect weapons. That's why they don't need to train. They're born freakishly powerful. Frieza himself never trained a day in his life until Resurrection F, where he trained for 4 months and unlocked Golden Frieza, a transformation powerful enough to rival Super Saiyan Blue. The race has multiple forms, including Cooler, Frost, from Universe 6, and King Cold, who's supposedly even stronger without ever fighting. Also, they're one of the only races that regenerate tails, survive in space, and function without Kai signatures, which makes them impossible to sense. Fun facts. Their bodies mutate differently. Cooler has a unique final form that Frieza doesn't. In Dragon Ball Heroes, some Frieza race characters become time patrollers. The Kais are like the cosmic gardeners of the Dragon Ball universe, but here's the twist. They're not born, they're grown. Literally. All Kais come from a magical world tree that produces Shinjin, a peaceful, celestial race. Most Shinjin live quiet lives on the sacred world of the Kais, but when the tree spits out a golden fruit, that Shinjin becomes a supreme Kai, kind of like pulling the godhood lottery. In Universe 7, we've got North, South, East, and West Kais, and one Supreme Kai, Shin, that nervous guy from the Buu saga who kept getting outclassed. Now here's the kicker. The Kais aren't alone. Their fate is linked to their god of destruction. If one dies, the other goes with them. So even if Supreme Kai seems harmless, he's basically Beerus' life insurance. And remember Kibito? When he fused with Shin using the Potara earrings, they became Kibito Kai, a permanent fusion, like Goku and Vegeta with Vegito. Kais really love those earrings, so if Kais are the gardeners, demons are the weeds. Sometimes, the world tree produces a rotten fruit, and that Shinjin becomes a Makaioshin, a demon god from the demon realm. They're the chaotic, corrupted counterparts to the Supreme Kais. We don't see much of them in the anime, but the deeper lore? It goes dark. Dabura, the guy who turned Piccolo and Krillin to stone in one spit, is actually the king of the demon realm. Then there's Toa, a demon scientist from the future who messes with time, and Mira, her partner, a hybrid of Saiyan, machine, and demon DNA. Yeah, the demon realm does not play around. In the spin-off games and manga like Dragon Ball Heroes, these demons become full-on multiversal threats, but even in Z, you can feel their influence creeping in. Now we hit the big boys. The gods of destruction, or Hakaishin, are basically universal reset buttons, where Kais create, these guys erase. They're not born gods though, they're chosen and trained, then gifted God Koi, and they're linked to their Supreme Kai. If one goes, the other follows. Balance, baby. Take Beerus, the sleepy cat that could one-shot your favorite character without trying. He's been training for millions of years and still hasn't hit his peak. And get this, in just 4 months, Frieza trained hard enough to reach Beerus tier power with Golden Frieza. Even Toppo, from Universe 11, unlocked destruction energy and temporarily became a god of destruction candidate during the Tournament of Power. There's variety too. Quitella, the tiny mouse from Universe 4, is said to be even stronger than Beerus. And in Dragon Ball Super manga, Vegeta starts learning destruction energy under Beerus himself. When they use Hakai, they don't just kill you, they erase you. Gone. No soul, no afterlife, no Dragon Balls. And above them all are the angels. Every god of destruction has one, but unlike their students, the angels don't destroy. They observe, guide, and occasionally clown on their universes. They're all children of the Grand Priest, who might be the most powerful being in existence. Even Zeno listens when he talks. The angels are born with Ultra Instinct fully mastered. To them, dodging attacks is as natural as blinking. Remember when Whis dodged Goku and Vegeta at the same time without breaking a sweat? That wasn't flair. That's just angel level movement. They don't age, don't fight unless absolutely necessary. And here's the catch. If they break their neutrality, they're erased. Even angels have rules. Whis is probably the most well-known, but his sister Vados trains Champa, the god of destruction from Universe 6. And in Dragon Ball Heroes, some angels go rogue, triggering insane multiverse arcs. So yeah, if an angel actually wanted to fight, nobody's surviving that. Before planet Vegeta became home to the Saiyans, it belonged to the Tuffles, a highly intelligent, technologically advanced race. They were small, weak physically, but their tech was insane. Scouters? Tuffle invention. Blasters, artificial moons, genetic enhancement, all came from them. The Saiyans didn't invent anything, they stole it. Eventually the Saiyans wiped them out and renamed the planet, but one Tuffle survived, Baby, from Dragon Ball GT. He was a parasite engineered to take revenge by infecting Saiyans and turning their own power against them. The Yardrats are weird, peaceful alien beings who live on planet Yardrat. They don't look like much, but they invented instant transmission. After the Frieza fight, Goku crash-landed there and trained with them for almost a year. Their fighting style isn't about raw power, it's all about spirit control. This lets them teleport, multiply their image, enlarge themselves, or suppress their energy completely. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku goes back and learns even more advanced techniques like forced spirit fission. So yeah, don't underestimate the squishy ones. The Metamorans are a mysterious race that Goku mentions during the Buu saga. They're responsible for the iconic fusion dance. the one that creates Gogeta and Gotenks. They're never shown in the anime, but Goku says he learned the dance in the other world, suggesting the Metamorans are part of the afterlife or spiritual realm. Their technique requires two fighters to be equal in power and perfectly in sync. If it goes wrong, you get fat Gotenks. If it works, you get one of the most broken forms in the series. Now we're entering mad science territory. Dr. Gero's androids, 16, 17, 18, and Cell, are all part human, part machine, part genetic experiments. 17 and 18 started as regular humans and were enhanced to become infinite energy beings. Cell was made using DNA from Goku, Vegeta, Piccolo, Frieza, and even King Cold, making him the ultimate hybrid. He even has Saiyan cells. That's why he gets stronger after near-death experiences just like Goku. Later in Super, 17 becomes powerful enough to stand beside gods, all with zero transformations, just raw adaptability and endless energy. Android 21 from Dragon Ball FighterZ is also canon in some continuities, and she's part Majin. Majins aren't a race, they're more like magical constructs. Majin Buu was created by the dark wizard Bibidi millions of years before the main story. He's basically chaos given form, regenerates from dust, turns people into candy, and splits into different versions of himself. What's wild is that Buu absorbed so many fighters that his power and personality changed, giving us Fat Buu, Evil Buu, Super Buu, and Kid Buu. And after peace, Mr. Buu becomes friendly, even forming a bond with Hercule. In Dragon Ball Heroes and some games, there are full civilizations of Majins, including female ones like Majin Toa. So that's the universe of Dragon Ball. Not just Saiyans and Super Saiyans, but a whole multiverse of warriors, gods, inventors, parasites, demons, and whatever Buu is. And the wild part? We still didn't cover everything. Dragon Ball is constantly evolving. New timelines, new universes, new fusions, and even new races keep popping up in spin-offs, manga, and games like Dragon Ball Heroes and Xenoverse. So if you like this full breakdown of the main races and want us to cover the deep stuff next, like every Super Saiyan form, yes, even the weird ones, the strongest gods of destruction, or the full story of Dragon Ball GT in one shot, then you know what to do. Hit that Zenkai subscribe button, drop a comment, and tell us your favorite race, or the one you think is the most underrated. And if you're still watching, you've got S cells in your brain. No doubt. See you next time on the Zenkai Protocol.